He's the sir. He's doing his surly things.
Surly things.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's just wandering around being surly, grumpy.
Walking around, I'd imagine he was walking around like this, being like, "Oh, I'm such a knight. I'm so elusive."
3.5
Yeah, but that's not
swords.
being surly.
That maybe.
It's only
I
really
guess
meant
I guess it
using
defined it a
three
little
swords.
early. I mean, as in, not in the way of being like surly, as in disgruntled.
Mine ears.
Thine ears aren't thine ready for surly
You don't
presence.
have ears.
I'm really glad that there wasn't many people listening for that because that was so loud. Except if you're listening on the podcast, because that's gonna burn your ears, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna try
Not
to fix
sorry.
that.
Hashtag not
You
sorry.
realize you could edit it to not hurt people.
You know what? You guys could help me edit.
We would love to if
I've
we
got
had the
nothing going
ability
on for
to.
the next
I really.
little while.
We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I might be able to, honestly.
I mean, I tried to offer, and then you just never sent me anything. So
Yeah, I never got anything either.
Hello
It's your
and
own
welcome
problem.
to the Villains Talk Show and Podcast.
Look at him changing the topic.
right.
What is the topic anyway?
That
Yeah,
is the
right.
Great Grease Goblin.
That
That is
topic actually is a
Insanieac.
good question.
And talking with Sara Vike. I am another one. I'm C4, and we are
You are
your
another one.
weekly dose. Hello, Ruhala. We are your weekly dose of
Too bad you
random
didn't fix
bullshit.
Today is the new directions, I guess.
Today is the new direction. And I would like to give a shout out, not just to our Patreon for the wheel, but I am going to give him a shout out. And not just Ruhala, who's in the chat, but also one of our listeners who I met 2 days ago.
Ooh,
I actually got approached
that's amazing.
by someone. This is so random. So I own it. For anyone who actually knows me, I own a truck stop, bar and stuff. Happy New Year, Ruhala. I own a bar at a truck stop with my parents, and we all work together. It's a family bar restaurant. Yeah, whatever. And some trucker, young guy, comes up to me. Shout out to him. I don't want to give away his name because I don't want to get him doxxed, but he's out there somewhere. He's driving across the country and he's listening to the podcast. And I just want to say hello. You are most appreciated.
We love you so much.
And,
really
what warmed my heart is I was like, my first question was, so what do you think? And he's like, you guys are really funny. I'm like, no, we're not. And he's like, yeah, you guys actually are really funny. I'm like,
Funny looking.
thank you.
Honestly, we don't think.
I know.
Days.
So out there,
We're impressed.
so in case you're out there listening and don't think we appreciate, we
truly love
appreciate you a ton.
We love you so much, and you saying that, and honestly, having C4 come out with this is so great because we didn't know about this before.
I didn't want to tell you guys. I wanted to keep it a secret.
This is so great. Genuine reactions.
Really cool.
We love you so much.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So
How did he know it
Thank you
was
so much.
you?
Ronaldo.
how did he know it was me? By my voice.
Of course, by
Actually?
So we had karaoke on New Year's. Okay, on New Year's
that's
Eve.
amazing. That's
So super loud, and I went up and sang because I love karaoke, and because he had just listened to the music episode, he recognized my voice.
That's
It's
amazing.
amazing.
That's amazing because you
That's
like to
quite
say
the
on the
awakening.
talk show, right? So that's awesome. We love
Did you
you.
ask
You're one of
your
the
favorite
voice?
was?
And,
It's
Still, like
you know,
that's
but
crazy.
talking about new directions. I want to talk about
He-
how I'm so impressed with the talk show so far.
Who's
and
his
the
favorite?
direction that
That's
we're
what we
going.
need to
I was actually about to answer that, which kind of soul crushed me a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his favorites are Greasy Boy and Sara.
Yes. Oh, I'm impressed.
I'm
I
so
like
happy.
It. I like it.
That's
I'm
exactly
like it. I
what
like
we
it.
hear.
I'm like it.
I felt my heart hurt a little. I gotta say.
Apparently, I'm everyone's favorite.
That's
know. Why is it always you?
This is the first time I've been someone's
You never
favorite.
get rid of me.
That's
That's
awesome. That's so great. Yeah, that's absolutely it. Yeah, that's amazing. That's so great. Sarah is
Did he
honestly
say
the best.
why we were favorites?
She is the heart of the talk show. Honestly, all the time. She really is just so great.
Before, did he say why we're his favorites? I want to know.
He just said we were funny. I mean, appreciate, like, you know what? We're gonna get him on the show. He's listening to this right now when it comes out. Who knows when? You know,
Yeah, if we can get him on the
you
show,
know
that's
where my
amazing.
bar is, sir.
Yeah,
You're listening to this.
We would love to have you out and just talk.
This is a shout out to you. You
We
are
want to
coming.
talk about you.
We want you
We
on
want to
this
talk
show.
about you. We want to know about you.
You came and approached me. Well, I'm going to approach you with an offer.
Now we want. Yeah, we
Yeah, we
want to
just
know.
want to know all about
We
your
don't know
life
who you
yeah.
are, what you do. Tell us about the trucker, wonderfulness that you deal with. It's probably
and why
tough,
you
and
put
we
up
want to
with
know.
us and listening to
Yeah.
us.
Why you
Hey,
put up
all
listening
the
with us?
Guys. We're not going to say why he puts up with us. He's going to say, why does he love us?
Okay, well, we're putting it that way so he can answer in a kind manner.
Exactly.
We can make it easier for him to break
I'm
the
half
ice.
expecting this guy to come on now and just absolutely dunk on us. Just
That
dunk
would
on
be
us
funny.
all
That would be
day.
great.
That would be hilarious. Honestly, that would be so good.
The first thing he comes on and tells me, he's like, by the way, the
Call
food
us-
at your
call us out
restaurant's
right away
shit.
on our shenanigans. Like, do it. This is the chance. You wanna say something? Say it. I
All
want to
right.
hear it. I want to hear it.
Do you
So-
just hate listening to us?
That would be great. We're the Villains Talk Show. That would be the best point.
Is there people like? Do people actually do that? We're gonna come back to
Yeah.
that. We're gonna come back to that.
I hope there's a demographic for people who don't like us to listen to us just to listen how much they don't like us and how.
All right, you know what?
don't
Never
like
mind. We're gonna talk about this. Do you
Enough
think
of
there's
that.
actually people who watch videos and shit just to get angry, like purposely?
Yeah, there are.
Absolutely.
Like it's like
Yeah,
wait,
actually a demographic.
I have no doubt.
bullshit.
I have
Prove
no
it.
doubt. There probably is.
No,
I don't
'cause,
need to prove it.
I'll
That
watch a
makes
video
sense.
accidentally that will piss me off, or like I'll watch someone's
I
stupid thing.
listen
And
to it
Yeah,
regularly.
some people would do it. So they get heated.
Yeah.
So that's a berserker thing. That's how Vikings would get into battle. They piss themselves off, so they're ready to fight. You trigger your adrenaline, so you're ready to kick some ass.
I just see John Cena sitting backstage.
Yeah,
listening to-
Absolutely,
You can't-
absolutely. Imagine Stone Cold, right? That was his thing. He'd get mad at alcohol, right? And then he would be ready to fight in the ring.
He got really mad at alcohol. That's why he broke the beer cans on his face. Fuck
Right?
you, alcohol!
Absolutely. He realized his problem and he used it on stage. That's so great.
Get in my belly.
That's amazing. He always, right? It was a joke. It was great.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry, Ruhala.
Oh my
Hopefully
god.
it'll be okay. It's
Hopefully-
unfortunate.
hopefully
hit with
you're
some hard
okay.
times with the sickness.
You know what?
Eat some chicken noodle soup. Stay at home.
But the drowning pool is
have
always
some green
there
tea-
for
have,
you.
have some green tea with
Just
some honey and ginger
What?
root and
Just go
lemon.
drown
The drowning
It's
pool?
honestly really, really great for the throat and a lot of the inflammation kind of issues.
No.
that triggers.
Did you not get that joke, Sarah? The drowning pool? Get
No.
up,
No-
come on,
no
get
one
down
wants-
with
no
the
one wants to-
sickness.
Oh, that's great. I didn't pick that up. I wish I had picked that up. I really didn't. Thank you. But yeah, just
You're
if
being
somebody's
morbid.
sick, you should definitely have some chicken noodle soup. Honestly, chickens have a protein inside their body that trigger enzymes for antibody production in your body. Chicken noodle
That's
soup
how
is
you
honestly
get
super good.
salmonella.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And bear's
Fully
sick,
cooked.
eh?
If you don't cook it.
Yeah, if
Do you
don't-
mind
that's
me
the whole point of
asking-
soup and chicken broth. You cook chicken broth is soup is chicken you've cooked for a long time.
I just wanted
bones.
to ask real quick if you don't mind. You don't have to answer Ruhal, but are you guys tripled? Are you guys triple protected or only doubled? Just
Whatever floats your boat. You don't. Yeah.
yeah,
it's
whatever
up to you.
float. You don't even have to say. You don't. You know what? That's a question you don't have to answer at all. That's a personal question.
I'm more than welcome to say I've chosen not to opt into
Walking
this.
example that booster
And
shots
that's-
work. You're saying that's why
that's my
you're
decision.
free?
Oh, nice. So I'm going to assume that. Yeah, because I'm going to assume that means you got all of them.
I'm happy that works for you then.
Anyone
I'm-
wants
I'm
to
one say
hear?
that- I'm one to say that I haven't had any issues, and that works for me, and that's not going to work for everybody else. If you feel like you need them, you should go take them.
If you guys want to hear Ruhala's beautiful voice out there in cyberspace, if you go back and roll back, we actually have an episode with Ruhala talking about
She's
sex
very
staying
informative
sex
person.
positive.
About being sex
Yeah.
positive and being able to be friendly and inviting about your body, and
I'm also
speak
going
about
to-
things
Great
that not every person is comfortable and aware of being able to speak about.
Quick shout out to our new follower on YouTube. I can't pronounce Russian, and I can't speak Russian, but you're listening and you're
we
in
love you.
and it's in Russian, so we love you. Thank you.
We love you. We love you so much. You're wonderful. We appreciate you.
Yes.
We hope you're doing amazing.
So we actually have a topic for today.
We do have a topic.
It's
we
called.
usually lose a lot.
You know
I'm
what?
just sitting here saying nonsense.
And just so we're clear, the topic is
And this is-
direction. New
And
direction.
why we're-
We're
this is why we're-
directing us in
This
a
is
new way.
and this is how we lead our direction so well. We swim from one topic to another very clearly with an idea
Seamlessly.
of what we want to
The
do.
seamless.
Something we don't have any of.
Seamlessly, yeah. Easy transitions. Nowhere smoother anywhere else than here.
Yes.
We just we know what we're doing. We know it.
I
We're so good.
never
We're so
said
good.
I didn't.
I said we. I didn't say
Maybe
you.
should.
I said we. We're all in this together.
So, Mr. We're in this together. You picked the topic for today.
I did.
Really did.
It's been an interesting year for me so far. Just I spent a lot of my holidays with family, and for me, a lot recently, just in between different interactions with my friends and family, seeing different synchronicities and things that are clicking into place, of a domino effect of just positivity and things becoming better and easier for them. I see new directions and things going forward a little bit with life. My friend, she recently also, mostly from stress, from what I would think, and the way she talks about it, but I'm not aware. But it also gave her the opportunity for her dad to, come hang out and take care of her and, be a dad and do nice things and make her some, she told me she had him some worm, like his famous like Spanish stew. I don't exactly remember what it was called. But it was potatoes, mostly meat and stuff like that. Stew is stew. So, and then she was telling me how she's got family coming in soon. So like, she's gonna hang out with her dad, and her dad's gonna make her feel good. And then when her family's ready to come see her, she's gonna be all feeling good and ready to go and all fresh and able to hang out with family and do the thing. So, family is always tough, and it's just so funny to see from one step to another. This happened in like 3 days from New Year's to now, of how quickly things have just kind of shifted for her in her life. And I have a number of people and friends who have just, every time I've stopped to do something, things have changed. And then also the new thing that was really funny and interesting for me that I really wanted to personally talk about, that is just, I found was hilarious. The other day watching the new Matrix movie, interesting movie. So you could like it, you might not like it. It's kind of if and and. It's depends. The funniest thing though for me, honestly, hilarious throughout the entire movie. Every time the phone would ring in the movie, or it would ding, my fucking phone would ding. Literally at every single fucking moment that the phone, that Keanu Reeves or whoever had a buzz on their phone, so did mine. It was
Weird.
It was like in tandem, perfect in moment. Not even like a frame in between when it happened. Like on point. It was absolutely hilarious. And I didn't know what to say or what to think of it. I just thought it was absolutely funny and weird at the moment to just like every time the moment would ring in the Matrix, my phone would ring. But it was like Twitter or Facebook or something like that, right? But
what an interesting direction that movie went in, right?
it did. It was good, but it was bad. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of the ending, but the whole thing was the point. The point is that if you didn't like it, it was meant for you.
Of the beginning,
Like it.
the second act,
It's
the third act,
Did you?
the fourth
Did you?
act.
Did yeah?
You
Did you
didn't like any
realize?
of it.
Did you realize the whole point of the movie?
Yeah, and I
It's-
realized that there was one scene in that movie where they described a way better movie I would have rather have seen.
Oh yeah. Oh
the,
yeah.
the scene where she's telling Neo about the war between the machines, the civil war between the machines and the humans. They took a side of the humans. That I would have wanted to see. Why didn't they make that into a movie? It's like
Right.
they were filming.
Right.
I almost feel like the Wachowski.
But the thing-
it was just one Wachowski sister. Yeah, I think she was just filming that movie, and as she was writing that, realized halfway through the movie that she thought of a way better movie, but it was too late at that point.
I'm gonna be honest. They didn't do it very well, but you actually do see that a little bit in the movie, where Morpheus is entirely this AI, right? And he says it to Neo, and Neo realizes it too, that he's a counter program that he's made in his mind to become self-aware. And every time Morpheus is present, it's always this weird, strange moment that it's always repeating. It literally the moments that they happen in the movie in this one all happen. It's literally in repeat, but not even just that. The levels of what happens in Revolutions, the ending and everything that happens, it's the same. It's the same fucking thing. That's the whole point. It's literally they repeat the same movie over and over again.
I know. I watched the movie, but
It's
my question.
it's so fun. I find it funny.
What are you trying to get to? That the direction of this movie was so disjointed and shit that they thought of 3 different better movies while making The Matrix?
We don't spoil anything. Nope.
What? I spoil all things. If you don't want spoilers, just whenever I talk, mute me.
Honestly, if you came here, I'm sorry. I honestly never really thought about it in that regard. If you came here to not be spoiled, we ruin that everywhere and every time and every.
We're villains. What the fuck do we care? Yeah. the name is right there. It's right there.
Either way, it's. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was meant to purposely, like. You see the analyst is he doesn't realize that he's ended up just doing the same thing again, and
isn't that the fucking? I thought that was the fucking point. Was they had to make them keep doing it over and over again to power all of machine kind because their love is so strong.
Well, the point is because they've done it over and over again, they were able to break out. That was the bigger point. The repetition made it easier to understand this time instead of having.
I still don't understand the point.
Instead of having 3 movies to break down the span of this, the basic concept. They
threw all their shit into one.
They threw it all into one.
I'm so glad they distilled three movies worth of crap into one.
Exactly, but that means that it took one movie for Keanu to figure this shit out instead of losing his mind for 3 movies and wasting his time.
But you've already wasted your time. How long's the movie?
I mean, he did the SpongeBob.
2 hours and 5 minutes. There's 2 hours and 5 minutes you're not getting back.
But then look at it again. If you didn't watch The Matrix, then you wouldn't have wasted any of this time to begin with.
Not true. You could have watched The Matrix and not watched any of the sequels because you just stick by the fact that sequels are bad.
And that's true. You could have also just if you never watched The Matrix. If you never watched The Matrix, you would never need to watch The Matrix at all. Or watch The Matrix to begin with, right?
But if you never watched The Matrix, you could read Descartes and get the same idea from The Matrix.
That's based on absolutely true. You are completely true. That is 100% correct.
Yes, thank you, Rahala. And I was stoned enough to watch the Matrix series, and I was still bullshit.
I was just there. It is bullshit. The whole point is they're selling you their bullshit to make you realize it's bullshit. But it's stupid. It's stupid. It's all around stupid because the whole thing is stupid.
So, but what was the point? Like, you brought this up for direction. What were you trying to get to?
I wasn't. My whole point was that it was just funny that every time the phone went off in the movie, like when Keanu got a tweet, I would get a Facebook buzz or something like that, or it was funny. It was, to me, I thought it was hilarious. And then this is where you've asked questions that have led this direction of the deep rabbit hole we have down on.
I thought you were going to talk. So when we pitched this topic like earlier in the day, everybody, he thought
this wasn't about this.
He pitched it as One Direction. So I was expecting him to talk about One Direction and not The Matrix. So I'm ready for a completely different conversation.
My original point was the family stuff with my friend. That was One Direction. But then I just also discussed another thing, which was me watching The Matrix. Because we go on tangents. It's the welcome to the talk show.
Why are these directions?
It wasn't a direction. It was just things moving in a better way. New Year's, it's a new direction. New year, new direction. People always say New Year, new direction.
You're on a pretty good direction. Doing the exact same one.
That's fine. You don't need to do that. I'm sorry, my concept has ruined your concept of.
No, we just want you to explain it more.
You've ever done that before? This feels new to me.
It's a new direction. Oh my god,
man!
One Direction.
Guys,
exploded your mind.
Are you guys just asking me for something new? This feels like we're breaking. Guys, I don't know where we're going with this. Maybe you guys should tell me. What do you guys?
Rouge
What do you guys want from me? Why don't you tell me? Because I'm confused now.
We want you to explain what you're talking about.
So you've gone through a lot of changes in Insaniac over the last 2 years. You have,
John, is
like, really,
this
you
is,
really
this
have.
Is the best.
And yeah, because I can put down your life together for you. You've gone through a lot of changes. You've done a lot,
Thank you.
and you've done a lot of jobs. So I'm guessing what you were trying to get at is a new direction for you would be something solid, something that feels normal, because you've been in constant state of flux. Is that what you're trying to get at?
I feel like a lot of people have been at that state. You know, it's COVID. And,
well, no, actually, you're very unique in that, because a lot of people have been stagnant. That's actually been the opposite has been true.
I guess
a lot of people have been forced to stay, been forced in their jobs still, even though they wanted to change. Like, a lot of plans have been canceled, but you haven't been stifled. You've actually been able to move forward but because of it, because of the inability for you to find something that you actually truly enjoy, you've been living in flux, like literally for 2 years. You moved out to Ontario. You got a couple new jobs. You moved out to like different places in Ontario. You moved across the province in Ontario from Alberta to there. So why don't you? So what are you looking for?
In a bigger picture, just to address that whole lifeline of where that's going from, that's kind of been most of my life. I grew when I was born in we're gonna hit, this is gonna be the biography of Insanieac really quickly. I was born in Quebec. We moved to BC before I was 5. I moved to Alberta when I was 6 or 7. I lived there till I was 12 or 13, and I moved out to Ontario for another year or 2 years. And then I moved back when I was 15 to Alberta, to where I was then, to find, mainly to find some older friends I was hoping to reconnect with. Didn't find any of those friendships, made a lot of new ones. Many of the new ones I have are in this room today. And then
not really a room, but sure.
a theoretical internet room, but yeah. From that, I ended up, I realized I was there to learn cooking, and I found a passion about that. But then I also wanted to be closer to family. Family out there wasn't really the greatest for me, so I found a better connection with the family out here. So I found more reason to move out here. But all of it I had been determined to move out here before COVID had impeded me. So when COVID hit, I made my movement when I could to get over here while I fucking could, before I was stuck over there. And then now because I'm here, I literally only have one province away to go see my family instead of 3
in Quebec.
And
we're in Quebec,
and
Montreal.
My family, and right now they're in Montreal, and so they in the next year they've been talking about wanting to come to Ontario, so it makes it easier in that regard, even sooner. That they will be easier, literally in the same province.
For our American friends, Montreal is the French city you go to.
Yeah.
Not to New Orleans.
This not Quebec City. You go to Montreal. Only if you are from France do you go to Quebec City, because they will probably dislike you, but dislike you less than they dislike the English people.
I mean, we have one French listener who listens in Vichy. I'm sure they're probably thinking about that all the time when we mention it.
Exactly. When they go to Quebec,
those
they're probably just
dirty French people from Canada.
Those Parisian Frenchmen, they made up their own. I think it's Anglo. I don't remember the exact difference between European French and Canadian French. I know there is two different words.
Just how it's arranged. It's just how it's arranged. Quebec Canadian French is arranged like English. Real French is arranged backwards in terms of the syntax.
Yeah.
As a guy who learned both, I can tell you it's a bitch.
I mean the actual word for the two different ones. I don't know what they're called. I know one's Parisian French. I think that's the European one.
I really want to go and join New Orleans. Rouge a la, we all
New Orleans.
Go.
Yeah, I would love that would be awesome. We could go to fucking the Villains Talk Show Mardi Gras.
Oh my god, knowing you and Bear too, if you took us to New Orleans, we would have a blast.
The Villains Talk Show Mardi Gras.
Oh my god.
We got to do that.
We can do it
or Day of the Dead.
Part of the
one or the other. That would be awesome.
One day, if I ever win the lottery, I'm taking one of our viewers with us. We're going on a trip. You can write this down. If I ever win the lottery, I'm promising one of our viewers to come with us on a trip.
That'll be
We'll do a whole draw and all that.
Yeah, we'll.
Yep.
It's just some random viewer.
Yeah.
That's
I think
awesome.
that would be sweet.
Be great.
I'm going to write that down, actually. Cool. I don't want to forget that.
That would be sweet.
We'll clip it later.
Still gonna write
or pick a viewer who lives there and go visit them.
That's also
go kidnap someone.
Well, we could do both. One who lives there can join us, and one who's not there could go with us as we go because they're already going to be.
Kidnapping a viewer.
Speaking of which,
that's also potential.
We're halfway through the show. Might as well say if you want to help support the show in any way. I mean, you could follow if you wanted. You could like us on YouTube or whatever.
Be sure to check out our Patreon. You can become for the wheel and support us directly, and that's really.
But I mean, don't feel pressured to do any of that.
We'd also
just the fact you're watching is enough. So
your viewership and meeting the one person like C4 talked about is so huge. I'd also like to talk about one of our super huge supporters who's Buzzsprout, I believe. I always get the name bad.
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout, you are wonderful, and they have helped set up our setting and have helped get us a starting kind of platform for our podcast group. So if you're probably listening to this, you probably heard it from there or has been channeled from that site or some way or another.
But there'll be a link in the description. If you click on that and you want to start a website, you go or start a podcast. It's so easy. Just go through that and it's a lot easier. It's free. It's 100% free. We started free.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Please post links to all your social medias. Yes, Greasy Boy.
If you could do that, would be wonderful, Greasy.
Please. I have access to 3 of them. I don't use Twitter.
That's better. At least
Facebook, YouTube,
them.
Twitch, Twitter.
He knows.
Patreon, and
we can't forget about the TikTok.
Mid-roll ad over.
And
Good
directorship. I like it. I love it.
In case anyone's skipping
it. We want a new direction, and here we are. C4 is finally becoming our director.
In case anyone's skipping through the podcast, and they're like, I don't want to hear all this shit. They get to the part where we start talking again. Now they have me saying mid-roll and over, and they're like, we start again.
Yeah, here we go. We're back to the content, even though we're talking about nonsense as usual.
New directions, right? So now we're gonna do all our crazy links and all that in the middle. Because we sometimes and often forget at the end.
Sometimes and often.
Sometimes and often.
Regularly.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
We regularly forget.
Yes.
Yes.
You are absolutely true.
Yes. Totally know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Make sure you post the
totally
links.
Not just sitting there pretending to listen.
Yes, please, Greasy Boy.
I would never.
All right. So,
I think
we heard Insaniac's take on New Directions. Now to do something completely different. Sarah, tell us about your opinions on New Directions.
For me, you guys are completely opposites. This is really awkward.
Why are you looking to the side? I'm not over there.
It's because for them, it's the other way around. Sarah.
Which is hilarious because I'm looking right at you, actually.
It's not that. It's the fact that he's looking way over. My New Directions.
Looking right at you.
You're amazing, Ruhala. We appreciate you.
Really little for me, right? I work on a school schedule, so January 1st doesn't really change anything, except for the fact that this year it was announced that I get an extra week off because of COVID.
That's kind of nice.
So New Directions, I don't know.
Huzzah!
Kind of nice. Huzzah! Yeah.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
More time off to do your own things.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
New Directions.
You've been doing a lot. Let's just go back and we thinking about doing this as a year in review. Let's keep this as a year in review for New Directions. Like if I may, since I did it to Insanieac, in the last year, you went from barely ever talking to only speaking your mind when you were emotionally ready to or when you were in the comfort of people that you trusted, to being more overt, more outspoken. You have been more pushy, thank God, because you were such a doormat. And I don't mean that to be mean, but goddamn, Sarah.
No, actually, that's a very good point.
You are such
I have made a huge difference in my life of not letting people walk all over me in the past couple of months.
And so in terms of
It
you,
means that we're not really talking to my husband's family, but hey,
and look at your
nice.
And just like you've evolved like your background. You went from a clutter absolute mess to like this beautiful, gorgeous setup. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't break
I can't see it, but yeah, appreciate what you have. It looks perfect.
You're supposed to keep the illusion.
And it looks amazing.
I particularly like this actually because the paintings behind me I did, so.
And Rouge Allah says you made a friend in her. Sorry, Rouge Allah said you made a friend.
Flying through space. What?
Sorry, I was going. Rouge Allah said you made a friend with her, so you can always learn about more toys.
Yeah.
And please, if you do, we need to bring your husband back on the show because I want to hear.
Yeah, I would actually love to hear that. I would love to hear that side of the conversation too. To have her husband come on at the same time.
For talk about toys?
Yeah.
At the time I actually forgot about it, but he for a while worked for one of those like.
What do you think she puts all of her knowledge into?
Wait! What was the end of that comment? What was the end of that sentence?
I'm not repeating it.
No. Where did your husband work?
You put it out though.
Where did your husband?
Something about
you put that out there. Now you gotta.
Where did he used to work?